In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this very easy company logo. So, hi guys and welcome back to a new Photoshop tutorial. My name is Manny, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to do this very easy wellness logo over here. Now before we start, this is also a brief that I've received from a client already. Let me just switch over. This is what the client sent me. So basically very straight on image here, most probably done in Paint. Just again a few ideas, copied and pasted in Paint, and the client also most probably got ideas from the web. So again, this is what I'm going to work off from today. So as you guys can see, also here we have a few different elements like the leaf and this little swipe over here, and then obviously the placement of the font. So again, I'm going to switch over, and this is exactly what I've also done. I've copied again a little bit of some ideas there, and just incorporated that together with the font, Serenity, and as well wellness over there. And down here we have some leaves that I incorporated as well, and obviously the round circle. So again, ideas, inspiration also came from the web and a little bit of brief from the client. Great, so let's get also right away into this whole tutorial, how to create this from scratch. First of all, I'm going to move out of the full screen mode with F, just get in quickly. So I'm able just to create a new canvas. I'm going to go back to File, New over here, and just quickly create a new canvas. So first of all, what I'm going to do is also rename this to Wellness. So my PSD is already saved and renamed. Then as well, I'm going to choose here my custom preset. This is quite good for my screen recording, but you guys can also choose whatever you need. So mine is 1920 pixels by 1080 as I normally have. Okay, just put that away, the spacing here. Okay, so basically you guys can also choose whatever you need. I'm going to hit OK and directly get a complete new canvas. Now as well, I'm going to take this and just move it to the side so we can just have a look at it. And as well, going to go over to this, just move that out quickly, and move this canvas into our new one. Okay, so as you guys can see, it's also very small over here. I'm going to press F again, get into the full screen mode, and we're not distracted by the background. Great, so first of all, our background here, it's also locked still. I can just double tap on that and rename that to background as well if I want to, or whatever you want. So it's unlocked now, and I've also got layer 1 here, which is just the brief. I'm just going to put here brief maybe from the client. Okay, move that a little bit to the side, and first of all I'm going to call up my actions again. So I'm going to go to my actions palette here, and as well go here, we can close that, just guidelines here from our pro actions, and I'm going to play that, and directly you guys will see we're getting some guidelines here. As well, you can have a look on the channel, we've created a tutorial just for that as well. So next thing that I want to do is take the brief layer here and just resize that and make that really nice and big. So Command T. And also guys, I'm working with a Mac. If you work with Windows, please press Control when I say Command. Alright, I'm going to hold Shift, take an anchor point here on the side, and literally just drag this all the way out so it gets nice and big, like so for instance. Okay, and I think I can even make it a little bit more. Great, like that. Okay, I'm going to accept that from the top again, so we have that as our rough reference here. Put that somewhere over here. And now first of all, we're going to work again with some shapes. So let's go to the shape tool down here. I'm also going to select the custom shape, and as well going to go into our preset library here, basically all the shape library. So again, there are tons of shapes here that we've already created, and as well that you already get standard from Photoshop. I'm going to go a little bit down here, and I'm actually looking for a circle, actually this circle, a little bit of a thinner one. So that's going to be like my base plate, and I'm going to use that for the start. So select it. As well, I'm going to select the color over here. It's actually going to choose my foreground color already, which is already a light yellow. Let's start out working with a light yellow. If it's not too good, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Great, so that chosen the color, and I've already got my shape, and I can start right away. So I'm going to hold Shift now so it's equally expanding as well, not just like this. So again, let's go a step back, hold Shift, and now your circle and your shape will equally expand. And I'm going to create like a rough shape here. I'm not going to match it exactly to the size of his circle because we obviously transformed it and made it a bit bigger. Great, so that's almost in the center. I'm going to press Command T, not to transform it, just to see these little anchor dots here and to kind of place that again into the center point. Great, accept that. So next step, going to take the brief layer and just with my cursors, move that a little bit down. Obviously select the move tool again via the keyboard here, just with the V, or you can go to the left and select that. So I normally work with just keyboard shortcuts. It's quite quick actually, and yeah, helps me a lot. Okay, like something like that, I'm pretty happy with that. The yellow looks a little bit heavy though, so what I'm going to do is just go select U again, so back into the shape tool, and just make this color a little bit darker under fill. What you can also do is double click here just onto this layer from the shape, and that will also take you in the color picker directly. So literally I'm just going to drag this down a little bit and make it just a little bit darker. Okay, so it just looks a bit easier for the tutorial on white as well. As you guys can see, we're still seeing the outlines here, and it's still a normal shape layer. I'm just going to rasterize this so it's a normal plane layer. But to be safe, I'm going to make a backup and just duplicate this layer quickly with Command J. And we're just going to write here maybe 1. So that was our first layer. We can turn it off, and we don't need it for the start or maybe at all. But it's like a backup in case we mess up with this. I'm going to press right click here and just say rasterize. Okay, great. And that is again our layer 2. I'm just going to rename it now to 2. Feel free to rename things to whatever you guys like to. There's no certain rules about this. Okay, let's make also a little bit more space here so we can actually see the layers a little bit better. Great, so we've got that. For the next step that I want to do is start out right away with the wellness word. So basically just selecting a font and creating the wellness. I'm going to press T over here. So get into the text type tool. Okay, I'm going to make a rough and really big selection actually, like so. And we're just going to write here wellness with a lowercase number, letters actually. Okay, wellness like that. I'm going to select the whole wellness. And we are doing this now on white background. So let's also select a red foreground color. Okay, over here, red. And I'm literally just going to take this a little bit down, like so, a little bit darker red. Okay, great. Let's also just take the fonts up a little bit. We're going to make this nice and big. And first of all, going to select now a complete random font for this. So I'm not going to select a random font. Actually, I've already selected one. And it's just going to be Arial Black again, because that comes quite close to our client's brief actually. So just Arial Black like that. Great. And it's a little bit too big actually, the word here. So let's just take the font size down. Like so. We can take it down a little bit more. Great, like that. Okay, except that I'm also going to take the move tool and quickly just move that all the way over to wellness. As you guys can see, that's also why I've chosen this font type, again Arial Black. You guys can also find all the fonts in the description down below, or on dafont.com. You can download them there. Great, so the wellness font, I've chosen that because it looks quite close to the client's brief here. Great, let's select that, and I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller again. I just pressed here type tool, selected the text, and press Command A, select all, or literally just go over it and select all. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, like 43% there. Okay, and let's move that up again and just place that somewhere over here for the start. Now again, throughout the process, we will obviously still change this and move things around. Okay, we're going to leave it there for the start. Next step, again, text tool. I'm going to make this a bit bigger, and again, also type here Serenity. Okay, just no correct there, everything's right. Okay, selecting all of it. First of all, I want to choose completely different font color. So again, under the font color here, I'm actually going to choose the same as we have here from our outer ring. So again, select that. Okay, great. Now as well, I still need to choose a different font for that. So I don't want to bore you and select here a font for ours. So I've already again chosen a new font, which is basically called Amperzand. Let's strictly go in here. Also under A, Amperzand. And again, you guys can also find all the fonts in the description down below. Great, so we've selected that. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, a little bit more, something like that most probably. Okay, accept that, and let's quickly have a look here. I'm not even concentrating now at the moment on this little leaf over here and the swipe. We're going to work with that in a moment. First of all, I want to look how this actually fits in really nicely here, just with the word wellness, and how it fits into the center of our circle here. So again, we can move that over a little bit. We can also make this a little bit bigger. So let's press again text tool, select all of it, and I'm going to make it like 2-3 dots bigger. Okay. Select that and accept it, and literally again move tool, and we're just going to move that a little bit over. Great, so I'm also looking here most probably at the T. The T could be like an ending somewhere, and then again the W here could be an ending, and under the S and over here. Great, let's also turn off the client's brief here so we can actually see the background, and yeah, that looks kind of alright. What I'm going to do now is turn off wellness and serenity, turn off that, and as well turn off layer 1 here. We're just going to work on layer 2 now. So it's rasterized already, so we don't have trouble. We can also easily delete areas now. Select the brief here again from the client, M for marking tool. Let's just go switch back to layer 2. And I'm roughly going to make a selection like so. Great, and this area will obviously be cut out now. So let's just select the marking tool, move over a little bit. So I've just made this roughly with the marking tool, just a rough selection. Also selected the rectangular marking tool. And I'm just going to hit delete right away here on layer 2. Command D, get out of the selection. Let's select wellness and serenity again. And turn off layer brief here from our client. Okay, and already we can see here it kind of works already with the T here at the top. Maybe move that whole font. Nope, not the background layer, actually serenity. Let's move that in a little bit, like so. I'm just moving it with my cursors actually, like a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, until I think it works kind of good here with the ending. Great, then also for wellness down here, maybe we can make the wellness a little bit bigger. So I'm going to select wellness again with text tool and just literally selecting the whole word. And let's make that just like a 2-step bigger actually. So a little bit more, something like this actually. Whoa, a little bit more. Let's try 50, that's a little bit too big. So 45, that's actually good. Yeah, great, going to accept that. Just again, the move tool here, V on the keyboard, and with the cursors a little bit to the right. Great, so I'm pretty happy with that actually. Now I'm going to concentrate just on building again the whole swipe thing, the leaves, and then those other little small things like the club, word. Yeah, so let's continue with that. Okay, so first of all, again, I'm going to select the text tool, just literally make a small text down here, and I'm going to write just club. Exactly, select all with Command A, just make it a little bit smaller so we can actually see everything. So club, that's the word that's going to be for down here. So again, Serenity Wellness Club. Okay, also the font is still not right. I'm going to choose for that again a new font, and again this time I'm going to use Lobster as well. So Lobster 1.4, again you can also find that in the description down below. Great, the font color should also be yellow. Select the font color over here, same as we have before. Okay, and I want to accept that. Now I've also chosen this font type is also because it's quite close here to the brief and as well quite close to this font. Ideally I would have chosen the same font, but again it looks a little bit weird with the C, which I can show you guys quickly. Let me just copy this font here. So again, I've just selected Serenity, Command J, move that all the way out. Just text tool, select it all and write C in capital, L-U-B. And as you guys can see, if I accept that, it looks a little bit weird with the C over here. So that's why I've chosen to go with a complete different font over here. But ideally, again, the same font would work better in a whole branding and logo together. Anyways, let's delete that again, and we're going to work and continue with club like this. Now, I'm going to turn everything off actually, and just turn all these layers off, turn on my client's brief again, and we're going to quickly create again some new shapes here from our swipe that we have here and from the leaf. Okay, so we're going to start out with the pen tool, so I'm just going to press P on the keyboard. If you guys want to learn more about the pen tool, we've also created a complete tutorial on the pen tool. Now, I'm going to start out just with the pen tool over here, put an anchor point and an anchor point over here. Keep on holding that little path over here, and we're going to create a really nice round path. Great, like so. Then as well, going to hit Alt, select the last anchor point over here basically. Keep on holding Alt and move that in a little bit. Great, like so. And we're going to continue now over here, next anchor point, and just drag that out nice and easily. Great, so if you guys want to learn more about this text tool, basically the pen tool, sorry, you can also have a look under the pen tool tutorial. Let's take with the anchor point this guy down a little bit again with Alt. I'm going to make a new anchor point over here and literally drag everything out again, create like a really nice round swift there, like so. Okay, hold Alt again, select this last guy over here, move it a little bit closer. Okay, still going into the same direction. I'm going to take the last anchor point, complete the path. Yeah, and just make like a really nice round shape over here. Great, so I'm already concentrating here just on creating again the shape here from our original brief and layer that we had before. Right, so we've done that. Now next step, again, just right click and I'm going to say define custom shape over here. So again, we can now easily just maybe call this swipe or swift or something in that direction. And I'm going to hit OK. Now guys, you can also learn more about creating shapes. I've did an in-depth tutorial about that already and it's on the channel as well. Now, next step that I want to do is just press escape, get out of the pen tool, literally move out a little bit. And again, put my canvas here into the center with spacebar. We could turn off the client's brief here, or maybe let's quickly also create something else before I do it actually, while we're already at it. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit closer to the leaf, press P again for the pen tool, make an anchor point, and also quickly you're going to replicate this because we need that in a minute. Okay, hold Alt again, move this guy over here, and select an anchor point over here. And now I'm just trying to create the shape here from the leaf actually. Again, anchor point in here. We're going to go to here, just create like a really nice round shape. Okay, or path actually. Go take this guy back. And we're going to complete the shape again, just replicating here leaf. Great, so that looks pretty cool. I'm going to press again right click and define custom shape, and over here I'm just going to rename this again to leaf. Great, hit OK, and that's it. Now escape again. We're going to zoom out. We can turn off the client's brief layer here again, turn on our layer 2, wellness, club, and sonority. Great, so for the next step now, again, and we're going to get back into the custom shape tool over here. We're going to go back to our library and all the way down. You guys can see that I've already created this before. Let us just go a little bit more down. And you guys can see here, I've already created these before, the swift and the leaf, but here are two leaves again. So basically the swift has been saved here in our library and the leaf. First of all, we're going to select the swift. Okay, the color is still the same under yellow here, and literally I'm going to hold shift again now, so it's just equally expanding again. Make this nice and big, and it's an anchor. What the hell? No, let's press Command Z. See, I also do mistakes. So again, I'm going to go all the way down here and we need to select the swift. Great. Okay, now again shift, and now we're going to create a really nice swift over here. Great, I'm going to zoom that and move that a little bit over here. Yeah, and it's supposed to go somewhere in here. Great, but the whole swift here is still a little bit steep here. I actually want to let that be ended here somewhere at the T. So again, I'm just going to press Command T, and this time I'm going to hold Command and just select an anchor point over here. So literally just one anchor point. Again, hold Command and drag that out a little bit. So again, I'm going to reshape this whole swift actually. Again, keep on holding this, select it and accept it. Also the outlines are a little bit irritating at the moment, so what I'm going to do is press Command Shift and H just to hide these outlines a little bit. Okay, great. So now I can just take the move tool and move this in a little bit, and it looks a little bit different, the color, to me. So what I'm going to do is just double tap on here and get into the same color again. So I just want to choose the same color as we have here from our text. Okay, so as you guys can see now, the color works a little bit better. Great. So then I'm just going to take the move tool, move this a little bit around, kind of get a feel for this, where it kind of feels good. So I'm trying to like get a really nice movement going here. So again, from the S going over, down a little bit, like the Coca-Cola logo in a bit. Okay, let's move that a little bit more. I'm going to press Command T again. Just take this anchor point on the side, drag that down a little bit. Okay, and move that up a little bit. Great, so that looks a bit better. As well, I can see my shape here isn't the best, so ideally I would go in now and create again with the pen tool a complete new swift like this and a shape out of that as well. Great, so that's already all just for this number one shape. Then as well, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go back to the top, again U, and again going to go back into the shapes. I'm going to hold shift again and just create like a little small swift over here, like so. Command Shift H, so just hiding all of that again. And as well, now we're going to create some leaves. So let's go back to our library here. I'm going to select the leaf, press escape, and zoom maybe, just with Z, zooming in really close over here, U on the keyboard. And again, hold shift, equally expanding, so we're going to create one big leaf over here. Great, like so. Again, I'm going to take the move tool now, and now I can see that I've done everything on one layer, which is not good at all. So let's go to history. I'm just going to go a step back here to custom shape tool like that. First of all, going to create a complete new layer here, and let's rename that quickly to leave. Great. This is also our Swift here, maybe Swift 2. Okay, now everything is in capital letters, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to go back to leave, U on the keyboard, hold shift, and make a nice big leave over here. Great, again, Command Shift H, hiding that. And now I can literally move this around and be a little bit creative with this. So first of all, I'm going to take the Swift number 2 here, press Command T, rotate that a little bit. Yeah, and trying to place that somewhere in here. Okay, a little bit more, and I can actually see that the color is again off. So let's accept that. I'm going to double tap on here, select again the same color as we have here from our outer circle. Do the same on the leaf, double tap on here, same color from our outer circle. Okay, so that yellow is a little bit darker. Now, Swift 2, I'm going to zoom that and move that a little bit more in. Yeah, and it looks kind of great like that. Maybe I'm going to actually rotate the whole thing. So let's go to Edit here, and I'm going to say Transform and Flip horizontally. Great, like that. So that looks a bit cool as well. On this side, I need to still put club somewhere in here. Maybe let's just go again, transform and flip horizontally again. Okay, it's not looking too good. Command T, I'm going to rotate this a little bit. Yeah, now I'm going to get like a really nice round shape in here. Okay, like so. Or what we can actually still do is go back to Edit and transform and flip this vertical. Yeah, that's actually what I want. Okay, now Command T, rotate the whole thing. Yeah, that looks way, way better. Great. Okay, move it somewhere down here. I'm going to accept that. And this is obviously a totally creative approach. You guys can play a little bit with this. Yeah, and try to build your own little things here. I'm going to move the leaf over here somewhere. So it's somewhere the first leaf coming out of here. And again, Command J, duplicating that layer. And first of all, I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip horizontally. Great, move that over here. And maybe a little bit lower, a little bit higher. Command J again, move that all the way over. Command T, I'm going to rotate this a little bit and make it a little bit smaller. So just taking Shift again, an anchor point, yep, making it a little bit smaller and place that somewhere down here. And if you want to, you can also create now another leaf over here, maybe a little smaller. So let's do that. Command J, Command T, hold Shift and the anchor point again. And we're just going to make this super, super small, rotate this again, and move that all the way in here. Obviously, if you want to, you can also create it with a new shape. I'm just doing it via a duplicate layer, which is quite quickly for me. Great, so I've already created that down here. It looks pretty amazing. Now as well, I'm going to take the club logo over here, basically the font from club. Let's just move down here. And before we do that, actually, let's select leave, leave 2, leave copy, leave and Swift 2. And we're going to press Command G just to put everything in a group here. And we can just write here maybe leave set. Great, so we know already that's all with our little Swift and leave here. Let's select club layer, and we're just going to take the move tool and move the club somewhere in here. And it already has like a good size actually, so I'm going to leave it to that size. So let's select it with text tool again, maybe a little bit lower, 18. Okay. A little bit lower, great. So that's basically all. Now again, leave set over here. We still want to duplicate that. So Command J, duplicate that and move that all the way here to the top. So we maybe have another leaf over here going because we do have this big empty space going on here. So, but it's still the same direction. Let's just maybe go to Edit, Transform, Flip horizontally. Yep, and then maybe also vertically. But I don't want to change the whole thing vertically. Let's also try to go a little bit here with the S shape, so with this round shape. As you guys can see, if I'm pressing Command T now and rotate this, it kind of works already with the shape. So maybe let's select this. Anchor point here, again with Command. Yep, not too good actually. No, it's just going to distort everything. So I'm going to press Command T, rotate this a little bit, move it over like so. Yeah, and it's really subtle and looks actually alright as well. What we can try to do is just make the leave copy set here. We can just go all the way down, select Swift 2 again, go to Edit, Transform and flip that vertically again. Okay, so it's a bit different. I'm going to press Command T and rotate this a little bit. And that looks actually really great. Now I kind of get this round corner feel here going on. Great, so move that up a little bit, and we can still just take here our leave 3, leave copy 2, leave copy, and leave, press Command T just to rotate all of that. And we can move that all the way over here. Okay, I'm going to accept that, and just with the move tool, move it a little bit down. Now I'm going to select the whole group again, Command T, and rotate the whole thing a little bit. Great, so it's not too close. Okay, so it looks a little bit different than I had it before. I had it before actually with the leaves up, but it also, you kind of get the same point. I don't want to bore you guys too much with this. Okay, so the last step that I still want to do here is basically just take the Serenity logo, basically the word. Also make a duplicate of that, Command J. Just going to turn off this layer. I just want to have this as an extra. You don't need to really do this step. I'm going to press right click here and say rasterize type. Then as well I'm going to go to E here and just erase this with the eraser. So just select the eraser tool, and I'm just going to erase this dot over here. Great. And now again, U on the keyboard, select again a shape here, just my leaf shape again. So at the bottom, just select shapes here, and the same color please as we had before. So let's just double tap on here, get a color maybe. Yep, we can also double tap on here, get the same color. Okay, hold shift, and I'm going to create like a little dot here. Command Shift H hiding that, and Command T rotating that a little bit. And you can also place it like this now, or a little bit like that. I'm actually going to replace it like this, but just swapping it over again. So it kind of works with the shape here. Accept that, go back to Edit, Transform, Flip horizontally. Okay. Whoops, not creating another one. Command Z, go a step back, and just take this shape here. Yeah, move it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to zoom out to first of all have a look at it. Command Shift H, hiding the outlines. Yep, Command T, rotate that a bit more, and accept that. Move tool, just literally with the cursors down a little bit, and that's basically it. So there we already created a really nice Serenity Wellness Club logo. Great, now for the last step again, I'm just going to select the last two leaves over here with the word, again Command G, and we're just going to write here text 2, and as well we're going to take all of these, Command G, we're going to write font here, and this is just me. I normally keep on sorting my file, so when I come back or when the client wants some changes, I can easily go back into the Photoshop file and change things again. Again over here, I'm just selecting all of those layers, shape here, and I'm just going to write here shapes. Great, the brief again, kind of close. I'm going to delete this layer, we don't need that, and this is basically what I'm going to send the client now, yeah, to decide on or to see what changes they still want to do. Last step that I still want to do now quickly for myself is just press Command G on the whole group here, so all the groups are in one final group, and I'm just going to write here logo 1. So that was the first test that I've did. I'm going to double tap on here and just give this like a really simple drop shadow as well. So we're going to go to drop shadow over here, and as you guys can see, it already creates a little bit of a drop shadow. It's a little bit hard for me, so I'm going to take the overlay, the opacity here just a little bit down. And let's play a little bit with distance as well. Okay, let's have a look here. Distance is just too much now. Taking that in again a little bit. Yeah, I want to keep it actually to a very simple 5 or so. Let's play here with the size. A bit down, so it's a bit harder. And as well distance going back again like just a 4 or so. Great, so that looks really nice. As well, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and it just gives it a bit of a dimension again, especially if you add a different background to the whole thing. For instance, if I'm going to take the background here, press Command I to invert that, you guys can see how that stands out. Then again, I can also select here just with the text tool, again wellness, and change this to white, etc. So again, a few things how to change this. Let's go to view, say clear guides, and this is how we created this very simple and easy logo. Yeah, so if you guys liked this tutorial, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you liked it, share it with all your friends that can benefit from this, and then as well don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial. Thanks guys, bye bye.